in the mad circle. Ain't a damn thing changed. This is an original 1991 first press. I don't think this has been repressed. This might get a repress. You know, maybe soon. I've seen some people asking around about that. People want a repress of this because this is really hard to fucking get. I got one in the shrink. I bought it brand new. One of the best rap albums of 1991, no doubt. And probably one of the best rap albums, period. There's some killer shit on here. Even Coolio shows up on here. A pre-Gangster's Paradise Coolio shows up here. I mean, that's some awesome shit. You know what I mean? And we've got J.O. Felony. Another West Coast LP here. This is a 1995 original first press. I don't think this has been repressed either. This might not ever get a repress. And the pictures do not match my copy at all. I believe I have a promo copy or some sort of shit. I don't know. But really good album. There's some great shit on here. Even the singles on here were pretty good. You know, The Loca's on his own, Sherm Stick. There's some really great stuff on here. And if you like West Coast, you'll fuck with this. Really good album. Here is Zodiac Blowfly. Now, Blowfly, if you don't know, is just the fucking best. And this is his 1975 album, Zodiac Blowfly. He just basically takes the piss out of astrology here, which is pretty funny, not gonna lie. I love the backing band here. I love the sort of warm, low fidelity of this. This sounds great. Blowfly, his vocals here. Whenever this was fucking recorded, he sounds incredible this night. Definitely one of the best Blowfly albums. Up there with Oldies but Goldies. For sure. And this is Mr. Bungle, California. What could you say about California? I mean, this album is getting a lot of acclaim now, and it deserves it. Hell the fuck yeah, it does. This is a scorcher of an album. And it's bizarre that this didn't have an original first vinyl press. This was put on CD a fuckload. And only years later did it get a fucking vinyl release. But really good album. Love this shit. If you haven't heard this, listen to this. This will have merit. Regardless of what the fuck you're out there listening to. Here we've got Power Tools, Strange Meeting. This is an original, not an original, this is just the United States version of this album, so I think the third. But this was really fucking cheap. I mean, super cheap. But this is like improv, jazz fusion, and avant-garde. This is some really good shit for 1987. It's wistful when it wants to be, and extremely fucking just abrasive and noisy and chaotic. It's really, really fucking interesting music. And if you're interested in abrasive music, you owe it to yourself to check out some Power Tools. It's a good fucking album. Next, we've got one up from the other bargain bin side. We've got Stump, A Fierce Pancake. You can even see the $5 price sticker on here. This was easily when I got this was clearly just pulled right out of a storage unit and shipped right to me. Nobody had played this shit. This is a fantastic album. This is still really, really cheap for the moment. If you like alt-rock, if you like Oingo Boingo, shit like that, Mr. Bungle, you'd fuck with this heavy. This is some really, really great shit from 1988. This is the US edition, and the only difference is, I believe in the UK, they replace one other song. They replace Buffalo on here with Eager Believer, and on the other version, they replace Eager Believer with Buffalo. So you're just picking between which one you like better, but they're great, great, great fucking songs. Here we've got Wayne, Pure Guava. Yeah, this is fucked up, split, unfortunately. But this is a fantastic album. I love Pure Guava. I love Wayne. Wayne fucking rip. And this is a bootleg version of it. Could not afford a fucking original. It's just way too much, you know. far too much out of my price range. But this was a really well done bootleg for the most part, and if you're able to get a hold of this, I encourage you. Yeah, the cover art is really, really lackluster, really, really shitty. It could be so much better, but it isn't. Here we've got Old Lady Driver's Low Flux 2. Old Lady Driver's debut album is one of my favorite albums of all time. And I was finally just playing the waiting game for their sophomore effort. And I finally scored one. It's in my hands now. You talk about some epic industrial cyber grind sort of rock. This is fucking awesome. There are no Old Lady Driver clones or worshippers or imitators or anything like that. And there should totally be. Old Lady Drivers are one of my favorite bands, and they need to put Formula on vinyl. Please put Formula on vinyl. I would love some fucking Formula on vinyl. Here we've got Here Are the Sonics! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. This is a second press, 1966 Plum Label edition. This is ridiculously hard to find. I'm lucky to have found this. Super lucky. But this is some heavy ass garage rock, and this is incredible stuff. If you haven't heard the Sonics, I encourage you. The best fucking drum sound ever lies within this album. Hey, it might not be the best drum, it may not be the greatest drum sound ever, but hey, that's some ripping shit right there. Love the Sonics. Keep an eye out for their sophomore record, Boom, as well if you can. Speaking of some later garage, sort of bluesy rock, maybe with not as much edge as the Sonics, ZZ Top's first album. This is not a first press, but this is the 1971 London US press of the album. I paid $5 for this ages ago. This is a ridiculously priced album, at least the originals are, and such a nasty, dirty, very, very chunky blues rock effort. This is great. Everything on here is wonderful. And while I know that some people like the later stuff of Tres Hombre and all that shit, this is where ZZ Top peaked. Their first album, I love this. Not to say I don't like the later stuff, but this is fan-fucking-tastic. I love this album. I've listened to it since I was a kid. I don't think that'll stop. Fantastic album.